Hey everybody, I'm Amber.
And I'm Maddie.
And we're Witches Talking Tarot. And today we are talking about, I'm so excited, we are talking about glitches in the Matrix.
Yes.
Not to be confused with anything else, we are talking about simulation theory and the glitches in the Matrix that go along with that theory.
It's so funny because you say simulation theory. I'm so scared I'm going to say stimulation theory at some point.
I bet that's slightly different.
That's fun. I could actually see never mind.
Risque stuff is for the behind-the-scenes Patreons.
Oh my god.
So we're just going to start off with a brief overview on what simulation theory is, because I, as a person, was not aware what the theory behind the glitches in the Matrix was called until we decided to do this podcast. That's when this episode for the podcast.
So, if you don't mind me asking, did you not know the theory at all, or did you just not know what it was called?
Didn't know what it was called. So when we say simulation theory, so I guess I didn't know the specifics. I just knew the overall what pop culture has introduced into my life of that theory.
Right, of course.
But simulation theory being the theory that aliens or robots, humans from the future are running our reality on a computer program of some sort, right?
Right. I'm just over here I want to believe. I love conspiracy theories. I do. The simulation theory, it's so hard for me to get behind. But as Amber and I had discussed, I think it's because we're more string theory people.
Yeah, we are. But while you're on this topic, I want to tell our viewers, just from the standpoint of what I told you, and I think this is very valid or important to start the interview with, or the episode with. So when I was reading on simulation theory, I had to keep stopping what I was reading, because whether I truck with simulation theory or not, everything resonated so much. I literally got vertigo while riding in the car while my husband was driving, and I had to keep stopping reading and just recenter myself and get cool again before I could keep reading, because even though I don't truck with simulation theory, the things that I was reading about it and how so many of the scientists of our modern age say it's so probable that that's what our reality is, it literally gave me vertigo, and I was felt like I was falling in the car seat, and I had to be whoa.
I feel that.
Whoa, guys.
For me, I got similar for sure, but I think for me it's less that I think it's so realistic and more of I can do that with any conspiracy theory. I did that with the aliens. If you haven't checked out our last episode, please check that out.
It was episode before last. But you should check out the last one too. It was great. It was cleansing, and I get to talk about my boy Don.
Episode 3, Alien. The alien episode, I was doing research on that, and I had such a similar thing, and I'm over there is this true? I don't know if that's because I have anxiety, but when I do research on topics like this, there are times when I get a little paranoid, and I'm I'm dying.
Yeah,
but not really.
And for me, it's when things resonate, I just it's almost like every cell in my body has a reaction. And that's unfortunately a lot of what I felt when I read about simulation theory. And I don't like it, because here's the thing that scares me about simulation theory. Everything I read said, whereas if simulation theory is a thing, then we are a simulation for a reason. So once we become aware of the fact that we're a simulation... Did you see my smile?
I don't know if you guys saw that. Wait.
But if we become aware that we're a simulation, the entity running said simulation will be gotta pull the plug and start a new simulation, because they have become self-aware that they are a simulation.
What if that's what reincarnation is? Oh. Write that down.
Right? Again, this is the stuff about simulation theory that just makes you go, what the fuck? Well, and so I recently came upon some information that we're in the middle of a reset, and it was during the research for this, and it made complete fucking sense.
I'm so sorry. I am not meeting to.
No, you're fine. But if we're in the middle of a reset, then a simulation theory kind of makes sense if they're resetting things to where they want it for the thing, and then it's going to pop back into place and things will feel normal again. Because
Or
right
they're
now,
wanting to see how fucked up they can make it and how much we can tolerate. I mean,
my
we've
God,
got,
maybe.
you know, the
So much
pandemic
shit.
going on.
Yeah, exactly.
We've got all this
Well,
shit.
yeah, and the reset happened in about 2019, according to like what I read. So it all like makes real crazy sense. And yeah, because like the reset, if I'm remembering what I read correctly, I want to say the reset ends in 2023.
Well, I fucking hope so, because I can't deal with this shit for too much longer.
Where this guy was talking about like all this numerology shit, like not actual numerology,
I want to
but number stuff.
But math.
Yeah, and it was like it was numbers, and it went back to this Jewish thing that I can't remember the name of, but like it wasn't related to my research. I just happened to listen to this podcast at the same time, and he was talking about like the year 2058. We're gonna start is like some big shit's coming. I don't know. It's like some crazy shit. So simulation theory is some crazy shit.
It is. You know,
like if you think about simulation theory and numbers, what is a computer program but numbers?
It hurts my head because I suck at science and I suck at math. I'm a witch. I deal with magic. I don't deal with math.
I deal with Earth. I am Earth.
Oh, right.
Well, but what is Earth?
I know it is. What is magic?
You know? It's energy. Oh no.
I know.
What would a computer simulation be like? Energy, right?
Because like, what if we control what if witches control? What if we've learned to control the simulation? I said that correctly, right?
Yeah.
The simulation, and that's how witches witch.
I mean, but that like fits really well into my thought process because I was thinking about like the thing that I learned with the whole reset thing and whatever, and how like there's been like what people refer to as like all this new age paganism where like a bunch of people are turning to paganism, right?
Right.
And then I was thinking about the fact that like like 2,000 years ago, a little bit over 2,000 years ago, there was this shift from paganism into Christianity and other Abrahamic religions. Because like if you think about it, the original Abrahamic religion people, their parents were pagans, and they all converted from paganism to these new religions, and then those religions controlled the world for X amount of years.
Kept people
and
from
now,
controlling the simulation.
Exactly, because when you think about, if you think about paganism and like it's all about manifesting your own destiny,
what if
controlling
it's
your own destiny.
Not the Pope, but like
wow,
I know.
Wow, sorry, I didn't mean to rabbit hole us, guys, but I'm pretty sure I said in the first episode that was my job.
What is it called? What is it fucking called? They're like they work for the Pope.
Oh, the Templars?
Templars or Templars.
There's the Knights Templar.
I say Templar. I think that's Japanese
There's the Knights Templar, and then there's the Illuminati. And I'm not sure which, like the Knights Templar were, they had a lot to do with when we went and like killed a bunch of people on the way to the Holy Land. The Crusades. The Knights Templar were involved with the Crusades. The Illuminati is like shadow government stuff, I think. I'm not entirely sure. Haven't looked up into that yet. We'll have to do a future episode.
What if there's multiple like... But anyway, the point is that I'm saying, like, with Christianity, people stopped working their magic. And by the way, I definitely believe in that. I'm a witch. I'm saying that way because we're referring to if, hypothetically, it was related to the simulation.
I love that we're talking about this because I'm wearing my magician shirt, which is manifesting your own, controlling your own destiny.
And maybe people got to...
Once you got clouded with all this knowledge...
It became too much.
From the book that you're supposed to live your lives by. And now we are reclaiming ourselves and moving away from that book of knowledge that we're supposed to live our lives by. And we have created the reset that's coming.
Well, no, I'm just over here like
Sorry.
I was literally about to say, who is God? And then I was like, we're going too deep.
Yeah, no, rabbit hole mode. Sorry, guys. So simulation theory overall is that some other entity has us as a computer program. Now, not everything I read, but some of the things I read said, like, they believe, like, just like out of the movie, it's like bodies that are hooked up and charging this thing. But also, like, if it's a computer simulation, are we even, like, bodies hooked up to a thing? Or are we just code that's written? I wonder that. Like, that's just a question of mine. And if you want to tell me your thoughts in the comments,
I feel like this is a rabbit hole that somebody who is maybe not mentally there could fall into and get themselves very hurt, because with that topic, we're not real bodies. We're just part of the You know, I can jump in front of this fucking car and wake up.
Well, no,
know?
you can't, though, because if we're just part of a simulation, we're part of the same simulation that car's a simulation of. And so in the simulation, that car can hit you just as much as if we're real life.
Like a dream.
Right. Well, I mean, I get but I don't think, I'm just trying to dissuade anybody from going down that
please
path.
don't do that. I wasn't saying do that. I apologize.
No, you're fine. I didn't want to start a thing either, by having said, are we even real people? So my thing is, if we're not real corporeal bodies, then we could still be hurt by not real corporeal cars if we jump in front of them in the Matrix. That's all I'm saying, guys.
Okay, I am so sorry. Again, this is kind of a rabbit hole episode, and I'm very excited.
Well, isn't that the whole thing about the Matrix?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You go down the rabbit hole and you see more and more.
I have to say...
But don't go down that rabbit hole, guys, because if we become self-aware, they'll, end our simulation.
Yeah, and if the U.S. government has anything to do with it, we don't... I say this.
We're not blaming you.
I think I say this every episode, dude. I did it with the aliens. We're not blaming you.
Well, you know what?
I
so
want to be
you know what? I'm gonna be brave. I'm gonna be brave, and I'm gonna say what I think.
Don't be brave, Amber. Don't do this.
I don't think the U.S. government has the capability or the intelligence.
Oh my God! Now they're gonna have to.
Whatever. It's fine. I could talk about the homeland of Russia. I'm not going to though, because I'm not that brave.
North Korea. North Korea.
Well, it's like Corey and I were talking about Putin and how he used to run the KGB, and now he's been in charge of Russia for 20 years. So essentially, Russia's run by a mob boss.
Amber.
I know, but
I don't believe that. It's just
Amber who's of Russian descent. So, and I get to see what all I'm made up of soon because my DNA was received by the
oh my
place.
Gosh! Please let me know.
I will. Excited. I can't wait. I
want
excited.
I want to do that. But again, sound like paranoid conspiracy Maddie, because in all of these episodes, I swear, guys, I don't feel that paranoid. I don't think I'm that paranoid a person. But for some reason, it just
so gets in your head. Corey, while I was reading about the Matrix, Corey looked at me because he's driving and I'm reading.
Excuse me.
And he's like, Amber, the kind of person you are, and I'm sure he's trying not to say gullible or whatever, but he was like, the kind of person you are. You have to be very careful while you're doing research for this show you guys are doing.
Bryson said pretty much the same thing because I was like, I may have been abducted by an alien. And he's like, go the fuck to bed.
Well, it's because I was reading through all the experiences that we're going to get into here. And they were reminding me of my own glitch in the Matrix experience. And so I was telling him this one story from my childhood that I just told you in there. And I'll tell you guys here in a few minutes. But I was like, have I ever told you that story before? And he's like, I think so. But that's when he was like, you need to be careful because...
Well, in the topic of theories, there are so many theories as to who it actually could be. Like you said, my personal favorite is the robot one, but I'm a huge fan
I like future humans, personally.
I like the Terminator. I like Android stories. I love Westworld. I don't know if you've seen it.
Oh, I love Westworld. It's so good. She becomes self-aware.
Okay, don't tell me.
Oh, I haven't seen the end. I don't know.
Oh, okay, good. I've only seen
3 seasons, 2 seasons.
I've only seen the first 2, so we're probably about the same.
Yeah,
but also at the same time, kind of on the side of the fucking robots in Westworld because people were fucking horrible to them.
Oh my God! Don't get me started. Don't get me started.
The thing with the Terminators, though, I can't be on the side of the Terminators, different type of android, because they just want to fucking kill us. We didn't even get an opportunity to necessarily do
mistreat them. Yeah, they were just like, we became self-aware. We know we can take over, and we're going to. Right. Terminator stuff scares me. I won't lie.
About the Terminator,
the idea of AI becoming self-aware and being like, humans are shit, and we're gonna because
from what I understand,
if robots came after us, we're soft bodies.
Yeah.
Unless we figure out how to turn them off.
Well, from what I understand, what the Terminator was, and I apologize if I'm wrong, but I'm a huge fan of Terminator. They were created as weapons of war, and then they malfunctioned and saw all humans as targets, as opposed to just
I love let's
whoever,
be clear. I love the movies, but did I pay that much attention to the plot? Probably not. I was a kid when Terminator came out, right? So I watched the first 2. A crap ton. Eddie Furlong. I was in love with Eddie Furlong.
Wait, are you talking about John Connor? John Connor? Who's Eddie Furlong? Eddie
Furlong is the dark-haired boy from number 2. He's the main character.
That haircut.
Look, he was in. Okay, so Eddie Furlong was in other movies that I loved.
I think
and so
I
I was
may
just
have
an Eddie
seen
Furlong fan. He's like the main character kid.
Yeah,
from
John Connor.
Does he play John? I couldn't remember if he's John Connor as a kid.
He's
right. She has the. Yeah. He's John Connor.
I love. Well, nobody talks about.
Also, super love. The guy from Carnival that's in one of the newer ones, and I believe he also plays John Connor, and Claire Danes is in that one.
Terminator is just such a good...
I don't know which Terminator that is.
The first Terminator is a fucking romance. Let's be clear. It's 100%
I know!
romance. And they did it so well. Science fiction and romance. I fucking love Kyle Reese, right?
I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen the first one.
But then they came out with a newer one. It's my favorite one so far. I may be the guy that you're referring to.
Is she a vet and there's like a pet van involved?
I don't know. This is in the future, and there's a guy, and he's like, he meets Kyle Reese. Come with me if you want to live.
That one.
And
that's
he's
a good movie.
Robot. They created him to infiltrate the humans. And they fucked up because they made him too human.
And so he sided with the humans.
Yes!
Yeah, I've seen that one
such a
once.
good one.
And I love that actor too. He's in this movie.
Avatar.
It's an Australian movie. Well, yeah, but he's also in Blackwater, I think it's called. No, he's not. It's not Blackwater. Is it Blackwater? I don't know. It's a crocodile movie.
Oh.
Crocodile. Corey and I love animal horror movies, because I love horror movies and he likes the animal ones. So we dig together on the crocodile and the bears out in the woods and shit. Yeah, those are our jam.
No, I totally feel you. I love them. I like sharks. Shark horror movies are my favorite.
Well, and Corey, he remembers as a small child when his mom and his uncle let him watch Jaws way the fuck too young.
My sister is fucked up. She hates sharks because of Jaws.
Corey, my husband, big, strong man, will not go out to the ocean to waist deep water.
My sister,
it's too much for him.
It's funny.
Once we get to knee level, he starts getting I have to hold his hand sometimes. It's really cute for me.
Oh my god. He's like, I'm scared.
Yeah, he's like, do not go away from me. It's so cute. And then the kids get really far out and he gets anxious. He's like, they're going to get eaten by sharks.
I'm more worried about getting wrapped up in seaweed.
Oh, God.
That's scary. Oh, I'm sorry.
No. The feeling of it around your leg is just, it always creeps me out.
But on the topic of aliens, I love androids. I love them so much. Yeah. I love them so much that it would probably be the death of me, because I don't know. I'm a writer, so when I think androids, I'm like, oh my god, what if an android is like that guy? Right? Yeah. Is that so
silly? Because there's this awesome movie on Netflix, and I can't remember the name, so I'll just briefly, hopefully not spoil this movie for anybody. But the bottom line is, the characters are all self-aware androids that don't know they're androids.
Really?
It's such a fucking good
I need to know what that's called. I love androids.
Well, I just ruined the end for you because you don't know.
Wait, you don't know they're androids until the end? Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, but I don't know the name of the movie. And there's no way to describe it without saying... I can't describe that movie without saying what it is. And, there's a whole lot that goes into it, and it's more than just that. But, the bottom line is... It's a civilization of androids that think they're human because they don't know.
That is fucking awesome.
It is. It's a great movie. I'll find it, and it's a really good movie. So I didn't ruin it, but
I'm over here as a writer. I'm over here taking notes. Okay, so glitch in the Matrix. There's this girl who's attached to the simulation theory, but then a robot falls in love with her, and she wakes up from the simulation theory. She's like, oh my god, my life, and I'm just going on and on and on and on. But are there any writers in our audience?
Do you guys? Do we give you ideas?
Do you guys do that? I know I'm not the only one.
I do that all the time. I was going to say, while I was doing my research, I was like, oh my god, making stories up as I'm doing it. I'm like, I can't.
Right. And
I can't get involved in too many different things right now.
And how can I make this an erotica? But then the theory, you like the theory with the alien or the humans?
I like the future humans. They're trying to figure out maybe what went wrong with society, or if they did this, how would people react, or something. I like to think that it's. I like the theory that it's future humans that are simulating us from the past for whatever the fuck reason. I don't know.
The reason why I can't understand this theory is because if they go to the past and use this as simulations, then how did the past ever happen, and then how did they become who they are?
Well, but again, maybe they're trying to see what went wrong, so they're simulating certain things.
But wouldn't fucking up the past, wouldn't that cause them to cease to exist? time.
Well, but we're a simulation, so how are they fucking with their own past? It's just a computer simulation as they try and figure out what went wrong with humanity somewhere along the lines, maybe. Or what went wrong with the whatever. Or here's my favorite. This came to me this came to me while I was reading it, and I was like, I can't wait to talk to Maddie about this theory. So, like, what if simulation theory is, like, you know how we have people that go missing, right? And they just, like, disappear out of nowhere, and they, like, so what if, well, that wasn't it, but that's a cool one, too. What if simulation theory is some shit happens, and they're trying to figure out who it is that's the key, so, like, they remove these people out of history and see how things unfold without that one involved. Because maybe these people that go missing have something to do with something in the future that's bad, or maybe their offspring have something to do with something in the future that's bad. So simulation theory is trying to weed out whatever that problem was and get it out and see where they could figure it out, because they've also figured out time travel. So they just need to know where they need to go back to fix the thing, so that the thing that they want to avoid happening doesn't happen. And they have simulated us so that they can figure that shit out. I'm not self-aware. Don't end our simulation.
Okay, yeah, but I'm over here like...
I don't know.
They left right? Hitler. Fucking A, dude.
I mean, what if it's a later thing? I don't know. I mean, yeah.
So. No. When I say fucking A, I mean that's kind of a douche move on their part.
Well, but what if, like... I don't fucking know. I know. Like, but the thing with what if there's something worse out there? Like, there's this whole book series that I'm not going to say on a thing, but I'll tell you personally afterwards that I have an idea for writing.
I'm sorry.
But it's like, you know, maybe some bad things have to happen in order for worse things to not happen.
Yeah. Oh, no. I light bulb. But no, I totally hear what you're saying, because you can't take
all sorts of weird shit.
You can't take all the bad stuff out, because then there will be no character development.
Right, you can't learn from
writer,
your past.
Right, a writer talking.
Yeah.
But
truth. And you can't learn from your past if you don't have anything to learn from.
Right.
Like, you can't learn genocide's bad until you know about genocide and see that's fucked up. We shouldn't ever fucking do that.
Well, you know,
granted, we didn't learn. Never mind. I'm not going to get political.
Some people think that, you know, people are getting stupider. Do you think that has to do with the simulation theory? Do you think it's because they're just like...
I almost ruined my notebook. For those of you who are not watching on YouTube but listening on Spotify, I took a big drink of coffee right before Maddie started that and was trying not to inhale it or spit it everywhere.
But seriously, could that have something to do with the simulation? I mean, know.
I wonder if they're like, if
people
society
are becoming
is dumber,
too self-aware, so they have to make them stupider. Oh my gosh. Is that too much?
No, that's like so perfect.
You're like, that makes sense.
Oh my God, I know. Like, how do you make a society who's becoming self-aware that they're a simulation unaware? You dumb them down and you get them involved in a bunch of stupid shit that doesn't matter.
Oh, I was gonna bring up the Knights Templar, but maybe I should. So different experiences.
Yeah. So like a disclaimer, real quick, before we move on to the experiences, because Maddie kind of mentioned string theory and that she and I are more string theory proponents than simulation theory proponents. So we just want to let you guys know that in the future we will be covering an episode of string theory, parallel universes / changing timelines, whatever you want to call it. So if you think that you should hear certain things in this episode that you don't hear, it's probably because we feel it's more appropriate in the string theory episode than the simulation theory episode.
Well, and being
so just a disclaimer before we get into all
well, being a believer as the string theory, I think that's why I do not get much into the glitch in the matrix, because I don't think the two can be together at the same time.
Oh, I said that to you in that message, and then I realized how they fucking could be. So should I cover that real quick? Do you want me to
Do you want to? What do you think?
So because we had discussed that we don't think string theory and simulation theory can exist in the same space, right? But then my brain did this thing where it was like, oh my gosh, like I see this ball, right? And it's the ball of the simulation theory. And inside are the different parallel universes.
Or you are in multiple simulations at once, but you don't even know. So
I didn't even think about that one.
It goes
but like
deeper.
So, you can go either way. We don't disagree with you.
Right,
Okay.
exactly.
It's all theories, right? So
Stop.
anyway.
That makes too much sense.
Oh my God, trust me, I know. I was like, I can't wait to talk to her about that.
So experiences, I don't think I necessarily have a glitch. Do you mind if I go ahead and start? Because you have a few. I don't think I necessarily have a glitch in the Matrix experience. I am going to bring something up, but I can't tell if it's more paranormal or a glitch in the Matrix, so I'd like to hear what you guys think. Basically, when I was a child, about 5th grade, because I was living in a different town at the time, we lived in an old house with an upstairs. It was very old Victorian, beautiful. And I remember standing at the edge of the stairs and saying, "Hey, are you up there, Scarlett?" Talking to my sister, "Hey, Scarlett." Right. And then something yells back, "Yeah, come on up." And I go on up and there's nobody fucking there. But I swear, it sounded just like my sister. So, was it a glitch in the Matrix and she was up there in a different universe / Matrix?
Right, or like the Matrix accidentally had her voice come from up here instead of down here.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Or was it a paranormal experience, which I totally believe, because the house was like 130 years old, and maybe something wanted me to come up there that I should not have gone up there. Everybody says, "Bitch, why did you go up there? When something asks you to come here, you don't come here."
Right.
But I was a child,
and you thought it was your sister. But also, like, because you said you weren't sure if it's paranormal or if it's glitch in the Matrix, but you... And then I thought, like, also, it could be a jumping timelines thing, too. And, like, one timeline, she's upstairs, and in one timeline, she's downstairs. But we can cover it. The whole shit's crazy.
No, the whole thing scares me because, like, my sister and I may or may not have done, like, a seance in that house. And after we did that, it was not the same.
Well, right. And disembodied voices in and of themselves, is it paranormal? Is it glitch in the Matrix? Because one of the things I read was where 2 different carloads, it's like the same family, they're in 2 different carloads because it's like 2 sisters and all their kids, right? And they each hear the same disembodied voice, everybody in the both carloads, but they're in 2 separate carloads, and it's nobody in the cars speaking. And so like we, is that a glitch in the Matrix? Or like you said, is that paranormal where it's like residual energy in this one space?
Or is it even like, could it go with the string theory timelines? Because I'm over here thinking, if you watch ghost shows, or if you are a ghost hunter yourself and you try to communicate, you got the recorder out, you're like, "Hi, is anyone there?" And someone says, "Hello, yeah, are you there? Are you talking to a spirit? Are you talking to
your future self?" Because or my
not just
God,
your future self, somebody else in a different universe, and you're both kind of going through, and they're like,
my
"Yeah,
God,
hey, what are you doing here?" They think like you're a fucking ghost. You think they're a ghost.
And really, you're just in parallel universes.
Right.
But, like, also, like, there was this weird glitch in the Matrix, which could be a parallel universe thing, experience that I read, about this person that, like, they're walking along, talking to a friend, and they get to this spot on the sidewalk, and it's like they bam right into an invisible wall, right?
What the hell?
And then their shirt is, like, slightly damp, and they're like, what the fuck? That's weird, because there's nothing there. And even the friend was like, what happened? And they're like, I don't know. So then, like, an hour something later, they're carrying a bottle of water, walking, talking, get to the same spot in the sidewalk, hit that same invisible wall, and spill their water on their shirt.
Is that why their shirt was
wet in an hour earlier? Yeah, exactly. What is that? Is that a glitch in the Matrix? Is that you come into this space where like 2 worlds come together? It's some crazy ass shit.
Well, what about that thing in Tulsa?
Yeah, okay. So this is my biggest personal glitch in the Matrix story, guys. It was the weirdest thing. My dad, I had taken him for some kind of medical thing at a hospital where he had surgery. So I had taken him in the morning, I dropped him off, I went back to his house where he has a home office. And I was hanging out with his dog. I took her outside to potty. I probably fed her breakfast. I don't remember exactly what all we did. We basically hung out in the living room while I did work on my computer waiting for the hospital to say my dad was ready to be picked up. Did my thing, whatever. Lily was 1,000,000% inside when I left. I would never leave that dog outside because I think I've told you in the past when she was younger, she had some aggression issues and she'd gone after dogs and she'd gone after people on bikes. Now she's amazing. Now that he's moved, strangers can pet her. It's crazy. She just craves human attention so much, she's no longer aggressive. She has lost most of it because she would rather interact with others.
I remember when I went over there, you guys were like, hey, be careful with the dog. She's kind of aggressive.
Yeah, my dad doesn't worry. I do worry.
Yeah.
Anyway, so under no circumstance will I ever leave that dog outside, like, for a long period by herself. So I know for a fact she was inside. House was fully locked. Because again, I'm worried about her getting out, because if something were to happen, I would never be able to forgive myself. So I go pick my dad up from surgery. We pull back into his driveway from surgery. And the way my dad's house is set up, I know you saw it the one time, but it was at night, so I don't know if you know what it's like. But like when you pull into the driveway and you're looking at it, so here's the garage doors right here, and he lives in a duplex.
And
so
then the house,
right here is the other person's house, and then right over here you can just see the very edge of the backyard where the fence is. And we pull up, and I said, Dad, Lily's in the backyard, but I didn't leave her outside. She's just sitting there looking at me. She doesn't get up. She doesn't bark. She doesn't even, I think her tail wagged and that's it. She stayed sitting down, which she's a very high energy dog. You met her.
Isn't this how Neo discovered the fucking Matrix?
Is it? I don't know. I told you I don't really remember the
I don't
movies.
remember either. I just remember in the new trailer he sees a fucking cat that's not supposed to be there.
Oh my God. Am I Neo? No, I'm just kidding. So anyway.
Keanu.
So, like, Lily's there, and I am freaking out because I'm like, did I leave the back door open? Oh my God, I'm so lucky she's still in the yard and nothing happened, you know? So I tell my dad, who's super groggy from surgery, I'm like, Lily's outside. I don't know how she's outside. And he's like, what? And so I help my dad in, right? And it's not a very long walk from the driveway to his front door. So even with me helping him, it took less than 2 minutes to get from the car into his house. When we unlock the front door, Lily is standing right there wagging her tail. I go check the back door. It is locked. It's a sliding glass door with the only way you can get in and out.
I remember
there's
when that
no
happened
outside
and you
lock.
told me.
There's, the flip up and down glass door lock. That's it. That was locked. The deadbolt was locked on my dad's door that I opened. The garage door was fully closed, and we would have heard it opening if somebody had been in the garage and opened it to get out. Like, we would have heard that. There's no way to not hear it. So I don't know how that dog was outside, except she wasn't. She wasn't cold. She wasn't damp from sitting on the grass. But while I was gone getting my dad, we later discovered that somebody had been in that house in his home office and had taken some of the work checks.
I remember when that happened.
Yeah. It was the craziest thing. And you were the one that mentioned it might be a glitch in the Matrix, because I was just like, whatever happened, because originally I thought that somebody was still in the house, had heard us come home, let Lily back in, and then managed to sneak out. But the only way they could have snuck out would have been through the garage door, which I would have heard.
Or a timeline thing.
Where I saw Lily outside because whoever it was had let her outside so that she wouldn't, whatever, because she's a very protective dog.
Right.
So it's like incredibly strange. The whole thing's incredibly strange, but like that is the biggest glitch in the Matrix story that I have, because there is no way that dog was outside and inside when we got to the door. Like, it's not possible. She wasn't damp from sitting on the grass. She wasn't cold from being outside in January. I mean, it was cold. I was all bundled up with a scarf and gloves. So was my dad. It was cold outside. So she would have been cold to the touch. You know how dogs are when they've been outside for a couple minutes and it's like 30 degrees out. Their fur just slightly cold to the touch, From sitting on the dew, her tail would have been slightly wet, None of that. She was inside when we opened the door. It was the craziest fucking thing. I will never forget it. And I firmly believe it was something trying to tell us that somebody had been in the house while I was gone. Because otherwise we never would have known. Because the checks that were taken were several down in, so you never would have noticed.
It could have been a glitch in the Matrix. It could have been a timeline thing. It also could have been a spiritual thing.
Yeah, it could have been.
How many guardians dogs are guardians of how many deities?
Right.
Maybe they're trying to get your attention.
And just let me know.
And the thing, like with people who practice witchcraft and who are intuitive, those things happen to us more often.
Yes, we do. Yeah, we've talked about
because our eyes are open. We're woke.
Right. Yes, exactly.
So I'm curious if anybody else has had any glitch in the Matrix.
Yeah,
I would love. Please comment and let us know. Please.
Because like there have been so many that I read and like we talked about. Like some of them resonated with me. Like there was one where this person like they looked at the clock and it said 6:49. They went and it said 6:48. They went and they made themselves a sandwich. Came back. Eating the sandwich, and the clock said 6:48 and turned to 6:49 while they were looking at it. But they'd been out of the room for like 10 minutes making their sandwich. And I was like, shit, I've had that happen. Exactly. And I just like, and I firmly believe that sometimes these things happen to like a lot more of us than we realize. And it's just your brain goes, well, that's not right. And so it changes.
Exactly, because I've looked at the clock and it's like 6:45. Okay, I come back, it's 6 o'clock. What the fuck? It must have been 5:45. That's
exactly.
And is that my brain fixing it?
That's what I think. Because if it is a glitch in the Matrix, then the second your brain goes, well, that's not right. Well, then the simulation goes, oh, we got to fix that real quick. And then your brain goes, oh, I must have just remembered it wrong. That's crazy. That's what I think. And like, I was telling you, and I'll tell you guys now my childhood story. We both read this story about the girl. She was eating chocolate ice cream in a pair of shorts, and chocolate ice cream fell on her leg. And then she wiped it away, but there was like this mark, right, where the chocolate ice cream had been. And she's like, what the fuck? And so she tells her mom she can't wipe away the chocolate ice cream. And her mom's like, it's your birthmark. You've always had it. And she's like an 11-year-old at the time, so obviously she knows whether or not she had a mark on her fucking leg, right? Crazy. But then her mom's like, no, you totally had a mark on your leg. Fucking weird, right? Well, when I was a baby, between 18 months and 2 years old, my mom did this thing called toll painting, which I'm pretty sure uses oil paints. So she had left the room or something. I don't know. Little Amber got into these paints because apparently I've always been drawn to paint.
I love that.
Right? So my mom comes back in and I'm covered in paint. And she's freaking out because it's like oil paint or something, and she doesn't know if it's toxic to a toddler or whatever. And again, I'm between 18 months and 2 years, so my mom's been my mom for a long time. She's bathed me, taken care of me for a while. So she bathes me, and she can't get the spot of paint off. So she washes it again. She keeps washing it, and she cannot get this paint off. And she's like, did it stay? Or is this a birthmark that I've never noticed before? And I showed you the birthmark earlier. Yeah. It's very pale. It's just slightly darker than my hair color. But when I was little, I had like no hair. So you would have seen it very easily where it is. It's right there on the back of my head. So the fact that it just appeared out of nowhere, and my mom never noticed it before that, and like that was the first thing that popped into my head when I read the chocolate ice cream story, because I was like that's my mom's glitch in the Matrix story.
It's so similar. I wonder how many people have such similar stories.
Exactly. And the funny thing is, I was telling my daughter about that. She went looking for her birthmark, and she can't find it.
Oh my God.
And her birthmark was the same thing. Her birthmark didn't exist. And then one time she had like a rash or whatever, and all of a sudden there was this mark that was left, but all the rest of the rash was gone. And I didn't remember her having a birthmark. But then she had it for the next 15 plus years.
That's crazy.
And now it's gone. She can't find it.
Maybe it comes and goes with the sun. Is it in an area?
It's never gone away before.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Glitch in the Matrix shit is crazy.
But for sure, if you guys have had your own experiences,
we would love to hear.
In the Matrix, please comment. Yeah. So I guess our next topic was pop culture, but I feel like we kind of got into that already. We were talking about the Terminator.
Well, I was going to say, like, I still have, I mean, there are so many Glitch in the Matrix stories.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine. I don't really know much about the Matrix movies themselves.
I don't know shit about them either, because I didn't watch them I may have seen one once when I was in like the 4th grade.
Like, I've seen them multiple times. That's not my typical sci-fi movie.
Exactly.
I love sci-fi movies, but I'm on the sci-fi horror end. I love like the the piranha that got, you know...
Piranaconda.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it got genetically altered, and now it's at loose. And
I love the
like,
sci-fi movies that are like animals that are conjoined.
Oh, gosh.
Like Piranaconda, there was one about like, it was a killer whale that was also part wolf, because wolves descend from killer whales, and they fucked up the genetics. So, and it's just horrible. I love them. I fucking love them.
I love them. They're so bad.
Versus...
I love the awful CGI. It's so funny. This is my comedy.
Me too.
That's
right.
my comedy.
I love them anyway. Like Mega Shark or Megalodon versus, you know, giant sea croc or some shit like that. I love them.
Lake Placid is my ish.
Oh, fuck
I fucking love Lake Placid.
Oh,
it's one of my favorite
crazy.
movies. Oh my god, Betty White.
Betty White was
is
bad shit. She's like, and then the end of it, she's like feeding the babies.
Right?
Bitch! You just, like, are you serious?
Fuck yeah, she is. She's like, this is I fed my husband with a gator.
Right.
Fine.
So, as for The Matrix, I have maybe seen it once, never really seen it, not really interested in it. I wish I was. It seems very popular, but
it's a good movie.
Not my
it's not
cup
bad.
of tea.
Yeah. It's just not, it's not something like, I've seen them. I've seen the first two for sure. I've seen the first one multiple times, but like 20 years ago. So like, I don't remember what it was that made Neo, like, made them reach out to him, other than like something about a white rabbit, or like they had him looking for a white rabbit.
Is that why they use the song?
Yeah.
I love that song.
I
love it.
Song.
Oh, what is it called?
Alice in Wonderland Connotations. It's called White Rabbit.
Yeah, it's called White Rabbit, and it's like, if you see what, you know.
Yeah, I mean, if you listen to the song, it's straight up Alice in Wonderland.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And it's all,
song.
it's a drug
about going
anthem.
down the wild.
It's a drug anthem.
Oh, yeah,
you know?
it totally is a drug, but at the same time, it's like I picture the movie as I listen to the song, like all the scenes that they reference.
Oh, yeah.
Like your hookah smoking caterpillar, which
I
apparently
know!
one of my friends refers to me as the hookah smoking caterpillar.
That's hilarious.
And I fucking love it. Because Alice.
Yeah, I do love it, and I love how it's
feet
used in pop culture. It was used in an episode of SVU where this girl was roofied, and that makes sense because this one pill makes you larger, one pill. But then it also makes sense in the Matrix because you're going down the
rabbit hole, right? And you get to choose the pills, like the red pill or the blue pill. Which one are you going to take?
Exactly, and then it's used in like. Just there's just so many different situations.
Well, and I love, you know what,
So
I've never really thought about the metaphorical piece of the red pill versus the blue pill, and it's metaphorical completely because it's all part of the simulation, right? Are you choosing to know the truth, or are you choosing to stay asleep? And that's really all it is. You're not taking an actual pill. You're making a choice, and in your simulation, you swallow one of those pills. But if you swallow the pill that the choice is truth, you wake up outside of the simulation. And that's really metaphorical in and of itself, and I've never thought about it that way, but I kind of fucking love it.
I'm going to be real with you. In all seriousness, I mean, you probably won't agree, but I probably would choose not to know because I think I'd be happier that way. I think I'd have my son. I think I'd have my family.
I understand. No, because it's like
I would want to know
this dichotomy of man where I've talked to Corey a lot about like it would be easier to not know the things that I do know because it's a nice package when you just swallow the pill. It's a nice, pretty package where, you know, you get to live happily ever after, and it is easier. It is. And that's talking about my actual reality, not even the choice. And if given the choice, I don't know. I like to think that I would just take it easy on myself and not know. But knowing me, I think I would be like, I have to know the truth.
If I didn't, I think it would drive me nuts forever, assuming you don't forget. If you do forget, then, you know, but I don't know, I haven't seen the movie.
Yeah,
but
will you remember that you chose to not know the truth? Yeah,
it's hard because they say ignorance is bliss and they absolutely mean it. Like you said.
Yes, exactly.
I wish I didn't know half the shit that I knew.
Exactly.
I would be so happy.
It would be easy. Life would be easy. It's a nice little package where, you know everything that's going to happen. Everything's easy.
The reason why
if you go by these certain rules
is simply because of my son, and it's like, is he part of the simulation? I don't want to fucking know if he's part of the simulation.
Right?
I love him.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
If I didn't have Theodore, my son, then I probably would want to.
Oh yeah, I have a Facebook post out there that I share it every time it shows up in my memories.
What if he is part of the simulation? I made myself fucking sad. I'm sorry.
Well, like my bottom line thought process, and that's why I made this post, and that's why I always share it when it shows up in my memories, is if I could change the past, what would I change? And if I did change those things, what would it change for now? Because if you change your past, like we talked about earlier, it's going to change your future.
The butterfly effect.
And exactly. And like, I would never give up my daughters for anything.
Right.
So.
And what if they're not even real? They're just part of the simulation, but you don't know until you take the pill.
Well, and if they're part of the simulation, then I'm part of the simulation too, right? So.
Right, but if you choose to,
but if you choose to know, you lose them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the only thing that would hold me back from knowing.
Well, unless it's like a situation like it's in the movie where you are a physical being that has the thing hooked up to you, in which case, like, you're part of the simulation, they're part of the simulation. You could save them just like they liberated Neo. You could liberate your children.
But where are you going to go?
What are you liberating them to? Like, if the movie, they're always being chased by the robots that are in charge. They're always like under attack.
Also, are you even on a planet Earth? Where are you?
Right. Oh, I wonder that too. Like, are they in a UFO? I can't tell from the movie.
Is it something that you would want
like
to
a physical
wake yourself up or even your children in? Because if you're constantly hiding on an alien spaceship, what is life?
What is life? Yes, exactly. You know? Why not just live the simulation and power their ship?
It's easier, but
it's more pleasant.
But I mean, what the fuck else would you do?
Right. And I mean, I get the revolution thing, but yeah, exactly. Because like I understand the idea of revolution. Because like anybody who's listening to us going, but they're saving humanity. Like I get the idea of revolution, I really do. But that's like A, really hard revolution, and B, if you're not even on Earth and you revolt, what the fuck? Do you know how to fly that spaceship, or do you know how to live on that planet outside of them taking care of you? Like, what are you signing yourself up for in that regard? Like, that's kind of
survival more important than knowledge?
Than freedom. Well, because
knowledge is freedom.
Yeah, that too.
You know?
But as we discussed, knowledge is also not freedom.
If someone, yeah, you're right. But if someone is being used, but they don't know they're being used, are they being used? That's a good point.
I mean, that's a fucking conundrum right there.
Well, that's an actual quote. Like, I just changed it.
Oh. Well, but I mean, seriously, yeah. But at the same time, like, if I'm enjoying my life, yeah, you are using me to power your ship. But I am digging the here and now that I'm experiencing because you
get it better than the others. Damn.
Right? Like, how come they get better? Like, wait a minute. Are they, like, do they have a better sleep pod as well? Like,
I don't know if I should say this, but I was going to say what if Mark Zuckerberg is like. Or that Bezos guy. Or Bill Gates. Oh my god, I'm scared.
They're reptilians, it's fine. They're just reptilians, it's fine.
We'll get to that at a later
exactly. But yeah, I hope the rich people have the same shitty accommodations while they're hooked up in the other world that we have.
Me too.
If they have nicer accommodations and a better...
It's just a flip of a coin and they got lucky. Bastards.
Right? God, change my programming, please. No, I'm just kidding. Don't change
I get so paranoid when
I know,
we do these
like,
episodes.
I'm not self-aware. I don't believe it's a simulation.
I already told you guys that I would choose
I can feel my face.
Where I... Are you on drugs? Like, no, when you said that, my first thought was like...
That song, I can't feel my face.
Yeah, my first thought was... No.
Yeah, and I've been scratching my nose a lot. Not at all connected.
That's not what I was saying.
I know
that's so sorry.
But I meant for them. Like,
okay.
No.
I apologize. I wasn't trying
I thought that was funny.
Okay. Just because that's what I always think when people are like, I can't feel my face.
Oh. Yeah, no, I just meant like, because I was mentioning like, can you feel, is it real? So I was like, I can feel myself. I believe I'm real. Don't shut off the simulation.
It just... Scary. So did you enjoy this topic that we've talked about? I did.
What do you guys think?
We went down a lot of rabbit holes. I don't know.
I don't think you can avoid rabbit holes with this subject. The subject is rabbit holes. Like, I mean, that's how it starts in the movie.
I'm starting to get anxiety a little bit, like especially since I brought up Zuck.
It's fine. It's fine.
You know, fine. I think one of these episodes, you guys are going to hear me have a panic attack. I do. I think so. I think it's going to happen. You know, what freaked me out was talking about my son. And I'm like...
it's okay. We're all part of the same.
Are you still there? You know what I mean?
It's okay. Seriously. It's okay. Object permanence is a thing still. It's okay.
Right? Like a baby. Like a baby.
You can't see him. He's not real. No, I promise you he is. He's there. It's okay. It's like my family's over on the other side of the wall, back that way. It's okay. They are. But once we walk through the door, it'll materialize.
It's funny because everybody's like, LOL, Maddie. Amber's like, no, really, calm down. Okay? Play it off.
Seriously, though, I do want to know what everybody thinks about.
Me too.
Glitches in the Matrix, simulation
and I want to hear their experiences.
I'm curious.
Yes.
Yes, I would love to. If you have a glitch in Matrix experience, give us the comments.
Yes.
Or tell us on Twitter at Classiest Witches.
Yes.
Or... check
We're
us
on
out.
Instagram at Witches Talking Tarot.
Yes.
And if you would like, support us on Patreon. It really helps us make these videos. It helps us grow as a podcast as well. You can get free merch.
Yeah.
Well, why do I say free? It's Patreon.
I mean, yeah, it's not...
Okay.
Merch is included, so you get physical things and extra content. Check out our Patreon. It'll be in the link.
Extra content.
Or link will be in the description. Yes. That's what Amber meant to say.
And check out our next episode, episode 6, where we're going to be discussing Chronos
and all things. Yeah. Anyway, you'll have to check it out to finish how I was going to end that sentence. All right. So I guess thank you for coming to sit with us for a spell.
Yes.
And we'll see you next time.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.